As a former Marine and member of a Gold Star family, I want to thank our veterans, the men and women that protect our nation, and so many that love our country. I'm the chairman of the National War Council, and yes, War Council can be challenging, and it's not a politically correct word. I'll get back to that in a minute. In 2018, I was given a vision to form the War Council. At that time, which continues today, there were daily assaults on our president, and it seemed that very few religious leaders or Christian organizations were actively supporting or speaking out on his behalf. Their agenda and lack of moralities continues to silence the voice of common sense, decency, and what is good about everyday, hardworking men and women. Believe it was deplorables, or those that are irredeemable, the Democratic nominee called most of our population. Whether you identify as someone of faith, or just a good person, or a family that loves this country, we have more in common that unites us as citizens than the division the swamp dwellers and outsiders want to impose on us. Back to the word War Council. As you have seen in 24/7 coverage since the election of 2016, there are many that refuse to accept the results of millions of voters and the outcome of the election. The resistance are never Trumpers, would rather destroy 225 years of American independence and democracy rather than accept the results of the Electoral College and the will of the people. The deep and dark state, media, Hollywood celebrities, and nearly every organization opposing Trump had their chance. They had a corrupt candidate, evil contributors like George Soros and secret societies, spent more than $2 billion and yet still lost in a stunning defeat. Yet even today, they still refuse to accept the results and unite as a nation. So we are at war, whether we like it or not, an internal war involving spiritual powers and those that want a borderless, decadent, liberal, socialist nation, a nation without God. So we chose War Council to fight for American values. Yet the weapons of our warfare are not carnal or physical, like Antifa and other hate groups. We conduct our warfare in prayer with an appeal to heaven for those of faith and the American people. We are not silent. We have seen time and time again from church leaders and many that call themselves Christians. Silence, inaction, and not voting has led to wickedness and given voice and political office to those who hate this nation. Most of us simply long for a more decent, honorable, and just society. So we refuse to succumb to the corruption, injustice, moral decline, and violence that has become acceptable or almost normal. Inaction is no action. We believe in the principles of our founding fathers, the Constitution, and the values of our judeo-Christian heritage. While it would be offensive today, not long ago, we started our school day with prayer, reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, and raising the beautiful American flag. We felt honored to be one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. And now 15 to 20% of the population would like us to be a socialist country. Sadly, most have no idea what socialism represents and the horrors it brings on people and nations. Many simply hear the empty promises of free stuff from politicians and think it must be good. It is not, as millions can prove throughout the world. After much prayer I decided not to incorporate the National War Council as a nonprofit organization. In the book of Acts, with persecution from Rome and the great Sanhedrin, people of faith gave because they believed in the gospel, the message of love, and hope. We pray you feel the same and would consider supporting our mission. Not being a charitable organization, the National War Council will not forfeit our First Amendment rights to freedom of speech, or see a future president reinstate the punitive Johnson Amendment on religious institutions, churches, and 501c3 organizations. You may recall, towards the end of 2016, some judges were demanding copies of sermons from clergy that the judge or the court deemed as hate speech and inappropriate. Those days could easily return. Finally, thank you for a few moments of your time. I hope you learned a little more about the National War Council and our mission. We pray day and night for our President and the First Lady, leaders of integrity across this country, and the men and women that help make America the greatest nation on earth. God bless you, and God bless the USA.